Welcome to Family on Trial. I'm your host, Daryl Jones, and we're discussing MGTOW. Don't know what that is? It's men going their own way. Men going their own way. Or are they? We're going to discuss it. Relationships, dating, and especially marriage has become contentious. So mind-numbingly difficult and fraught with all kinds of emotional and financial danger. Many single folks are choosing to remain single. And it's the guys who are becoming specialists at this, at going their own way. MGTOW is a strengthening phenomenon with many social media channels highlighting the many woes that these guys experience in their relationships that lead them to a life of solitude from females and towards more of a life of leisure with their bros. I mean, who wants to date and end up a part of a rotating roster of dudes? Or who wants to get married just to get divorced, have your kids taken from you, and lose half your assets to a corrupt system designed to destroy men and support single motherhood? Fun fact, women initiate over 80% of all divorces in the U.S. according to the National Center of Health Statistics. That's a very interesting stat. I just thought I'd throw it in there and look it up. By the way, you would think the number one issue would be infidelity. It's not. Irreconcilable differences, which can mean just about anything, but I digress. It's understandable to want to avoid the pain and humiliation, but it's not right. And it's definitely not helpful for sustaining a healthy and vibrant society. In fact, MGTOW is the opposite side of the same coin of the feminist agenda, which is the destabilization of society by destabilizing the family. What better way is there to disrupt the family than to stop the family before it even begins? Instead of saying men going their own way, I would rename it. I would rename it to males going their own way. Why? Because there's a difference between being a male and being a man. Males are simply defined as the sex of an organism that produces sperm, while a man is defined as a mature male that exhibits knowledge, wisdom, leadership, and respect for himself and others, and there's no doubt we need more of the latter than the former. Men don't give up, and they certainly don't walk away from life's duties. Now, I'm not bagging on these guys because they have most likely not had the guidance needed that comes specifically from a man on how to be a man. One of the saddest commentaries on our society is that manliness has been pushed out of our families, out of the communities, and out of society as a whole. MGTOW is a direct result of the lack of manliness in the world today. Men know how to identify women and how to stay away from the adult females who also lack guidance on how to be women themselves. As you can tell, I distinguish between males and females, men and women. We have to. It's a must in order to understand what is happening in our world today. We must separate the wheat from the chaff, the babies from the boys, if you will. Without this clear distinction, the only thing we have left is confusion, heartache, and pain. They analyze life situations and evaluate their actions to uncover the weak spots that need to be filled in through knowledge and experience, whether it be theirs, a mentor's, or a fellow man. Men look for specific attributes in a potential mate that they know will be beneficial to the entire family. Attractiveness, kindness, and respect for herself and others is a must on a man's list. Most males have no idea they should be looking for such things, and even less of an idea on how to evaluate it. Day after day, the good males, the well-meaning males, fall into the traps of these predatory, immature female posers who aren't women by any stretch of the imagination. These guys are often passing up real women who would be of great benefit to him as he would be a benefit to her. Once males grow into their manhood, they become better at assessing potential long-term relationships, eliminating females almost immediately when they are held against the speculative light of kindness, respectfulness, and attractiveness. This will allow them to recognize and embrace the woman they want and need in their life. At that point, the need for MGTOW ceases to exist because a new standard, which is really an old standard, is put into place. The boys at this point now become men, and the females are forced to adjust to a new paradigm away from selfish one-sidedness to a position of cooperation and genuine respect for a man in order to get a man. Lead the way Assess your actions and way of thinking, embrace manhood and a high standard for living, and put MGTOW on the shelf of stupidity right next to feminism where they both belong. Family on Trial. Dear family, your support would be much appreciated. So if you would think it not robbery, could you head over to PayPal or Venmo and show us some love? Just type @Family on Trial and you'll come right to our account. Send us a blessing if you would. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.